don't feel like myself. I just feel like somebody else.
Alana. The only person that truly cares about him was this close to being out of here. It's insane. What's up, people? Episode 10 was devastating as all hell. I can only hope that this episode won't freaking shatter our minds and hearts as much as last episode did. Just the blatant lack of care for Will and his mentals at this point, and also like grappling with Hannibal's twisted sense of love and friendship, and this whole idea that he even messes with the people that are probably closest to him. And obviously our villain of the week last episode was the most, misunderstood, the ones you empathize with the most, because like she didn't even know what she was doing. And gosh damn it, I didn't even speak on it much last episode, but seeing Hannibal in his full-on, I don't know, canopy suit, like seeing him in action, freaking ripping his friend's jaw open. Friend, that's another friend of his. All right, let's get into this episode. I know most of us are in the give Will a hug club, so this is kind of like our AA meeting for Will every episode. Let's get into it. Thank you all for watching. Look forward to hearing your thoughts.
Right up to the edge, and now you're pushing yourself over.
What happened in there? I saw the look on your face.
Oof,
It'll be easier to hide from him.
you cunning bastard.
Someone who already doubts their own identity can be more susceptible to manipulation. Dr. Gideon is a psychopath. Psychopaths and narcissists, they rarely doubt who they are. I have no interest in understanding sheep. Eating them. Made from sheep, of course. Bathed in a coconut coriander chili sauce. Poke around a psychopath's mind, bound to get poked back.
True that.
What would you do in my position?
Yesterday we were just talking about how it wasn't on the show, but we were talking about how cats only come when you're busy. And these two motherfuckers have been sleeping on the couch all day. But the moment they hear my voice, two of them walk in here like freaking Undertaker and Kane.
Psychic driving would have been more effective in breaking down his personality.
Psychic driving fails because its methods are too obvious.
Okay.
Trying too hard, Frederick. If force is used, the subject will only surrender temporarily. Once a patient is exposed to the method of manipulation, it becomes much less effective.
Interesting.
The subject mustn't be aware of any influence.
I mean, Hannibal is the master of that, you know, manipulation. Antarctica? Is that your mind breaking? Oof. I don't like this visual. Jesus, the clock is melting. This is horrifying. It feels like he's drowning. Oh, his dog's around him. Yeah.
You get to dress up and I don't? Frederick, don't look so worried. Give you your trespasses.
What trespasses are those?
Maybe kill the nurse. I take responsibility for killing my wife and her family. The nurse is your fault. And now, who knows what I'm thinking.
Dr. Gideon, you told
Interesting.
the Chesapeake Ripper.
Dr. Chilton, you told me I was the Chesapeake Ripper, and that's what I'm going to tell.
Expose him. But he still has this job later in the timeline, so he's going to be fine. But it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Hannibal is gonna break him out, isn't he?
You married? You married? How long you married? Regarding divorce, that you're getting one, the clock in your eyes. It's easier just to kill him.
Jesus, bro.
Kill him, kill everyone at the table. My wife, there's people like that. How do you keep those whites so clean?
Same, actually. So does that mean he escaped or something? Now does he go continue doing Chesapeake Ripper things? Or does he go live a normal life? Well, this is someone he's done before, so maybe it won't mess him up that much.
All I need is one hand free.
Did it so fast. I'm like, couldn't the driver hear any of this? This man leaped like Wolverine, dog. Oh, he would play a good Wolverine. Got the hides, got the beard, got the hair.
Will Gideon still believe that he's a Chesapeake Ripper?
Dog. Just organs hanging out?
We took a uniform, police radio, 2 9mm handguns, pepper spray, taser, and handcuffs. He hung the organs from the branches with the vein from the victims.
Even tied little bows with some of them. It's pretty impressive.
Chesapeake Ripper would not have left the organs behind. Well, he's certainly trying to get his attention.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3 hours old.
Which direction they headed?
Back to Baltimore.
Back home.
I suppose this is my fault, too.
Gideon's escape forgoes a trial and a very public humiliation for you.
Mm-hmm.
Private one.
No one's making that accusation.
If we're tossing around the blame, Dr. Bloom, you would do your fair. You planted the idea that I was unethically manipulating Gideon.
Well, according to
You were.
He gave me informed consent to treat him. Said that he was grateful for my help in understanding who he...
BS.
Did you help him understand?
He was not insane when he killed his wife. Killing her drove him insane.
Gideon is not the Chesapeake Ripper, although he might have thought he was under your care, Doctor.
Exactly.
Or he isn't doesn't really matter right now. If he thinks he is, or even if he's confused on that issue, he will kill again.
I hope he does not.
So essentially, he's doing what Hannibal advised him to do, which is deny everything. And trying to put it on Alana? Are you crazy?
What does Gideon want?
The last thing Abel Gideon said to me is that he intends to tell everyone that he is the Chesapeake Ripper.
Liar.
The murders of his wife and her family. Dr. Gideon escaped this morning after killing 3 people. He is armed and dangerous.
Oh, well.
Family institutionalized.
Will's brain is cooked.
For the criminal
Man. And Jack being the one haunting him is just cruel. You know that boy ain't okay.
What did you see?
Dim, but fast.
Coming to the wrong person.
Footsteps. I don't know how to gauge who I am anymore. I don't feel like myself. I just feel like somebody else.
What do you feel like?
I feel crazy.
That is what you fear most.
You're not knowing who I am.
Hannibal.
That's what Abel Gideon's afraid of, isn't it? Moved all the furniture around.
I imagine Abel Gideon would want to find the Chesapeake Ripper to gauge who he is.
He's gonna find you.
You have me as your gauge.
What you mean? It's like what's going through his mind when he's seen Will like that. It's like, yep, just a little more. Scramble the brain a little more, my dear friend. Again, I sound like a broken record, but always love how the show ties everything going on with the killers with what's going on with Will. I feel last episode they did it so beautifully with the, girl that thought she was dead.
Any secret communiques or coded messages written in bodily fluids or anything else.
Whatever's going on with Gideon, it's in his head. All organ removal was done post-mortem.
He didn't remove any of the brain.
How? Oh my god, this motif of drowning and water is horrifying.
all of the other organs from the bodies and leave them intact and just scramble the brains. Who did to him?
Children. Every psychiatrist and PhD candidate who attempted any kind of therapy pushed him, prodded. Tests told him who he was, who he wasn't.
Any kind of psychiatric professional that worked with or talked to Dr. Gideon.
It's gonna be a long list.
Will be on that list.
If anything happened to Alana,
Protective custody? I heard I get an armed escort until Gideon's apprehended. Too bad. Fun to cozy up with your dogs in front of a space heater.
Protective custody to cozy up with my dogs. Or me, for that matter.
Oh, well. He's smooth with it.
You're really warm.
And to run hot. Yeah, they say stress raises body temperature.
Maybe you should take an aspirin. They're gonna kill Gideon, aren't they?
Has nothing to do with you.
Gideon can't be completely responsible for his actions if he was subjected to an outside influence.
It wasn't you, baby.
Hilton telling him he's the Chesapeake Ripper.
Like me?
Well, he's gonna want somebody to tell him who he is, and I think he'll be looking for the Ripper to do that.
What do you think will happen if Gideon finds the Chesapeake Ripper?
Oof.
Chesapeake Ripper will kill him.
Easily.
He took credit for his work.
Very Hannibal. Oh, it's been a while.
Freddie Lowndes.
My name is Paul Carruthers. I'm a psychiatrist. I read your article on Abel Gideon.
I found your paper on narcissistic personality disorder insightful.
I'd like to collaborate on an article.
You want a writing partner?
Girl, you know she's gonna jump on that. Her safety be damned. I mean, how did they even get that shot? That was beautiful.
Hello? Dr. Carruthers?
You came alone.
Wow. Come on in. You wrote in your Tatler archive the Chesapeake Ripper once removed a man's tongue and used it as a bookmark for his Bible. They call this the Columbian...
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Remove the... It was moving.
Others wrote an article for the Journal of Criminal Psychology in which he described Dr. Gideon as being a pathological narcissist who suffers from psychotic episodes.
That's not how he died. Drained him till his heart stopped.
God.
On his collar. Other than that, didn't spill a drop.
That's because it's all in here.
Consider it.
He's peacocking for the Ripper.
This is like flowers and chocolate before a first date.
And you know Hannibal is paying attention to all of this. Freddie Lowndes.
Somebody from the Baltimore PD must have taken a picture with their phone and sold it to Tattle Crime.
Photo was taken before the blood was put on ice.
You might be working out the emergency exits. Now, this relationship between you and me, this can do us both some good.
Anything you want to say?
Wow.
It didn't really seem like genuine Freddie Lowndes.
Hannibal.
He waved Jack Crawford's dead trainee's arm around his head, right here like a flag in this very room.
Marry him.
Aren't you the Chesapeake Ripper?
It's like remembering something from your childhood, and you're not sure if it's your memory or a friend's memory. Sadly, it's just some photo in an old book.
What's his name? I always can't remember the head of the I can't use words. The person who planted in his head that he was the Ripper. He always has this thing of pushing people too far. The same way he got into Chesapeake, into his head and made him think he was the Ripper. Same way in Silence of the Lambs, he freaking, antagonized and like pushed Hannibal. And Hannibal had a friend for dinner. That was his end. So he's been doing this his whole career, messing with people, not just doing his job, making them freaking lose their mind, flip. He got what was coming to him obviously later, but it's just crazy to see the beginnings of it, of him messing with people and the consequences that come from that.
Gideon isn't alone anymore, and the Ripper isn't going to risk exposure. So no, he's
the arm, where Maria's arm was. Yep.
Actually, he's telling you.
He's telling you, Jack.
Where's the last place you saw a severed arm?
With experience, I have found surgeries are best performed on the local anesthetic.
She's watching.
And in this instance,
he survived this, right?
You got inside my mind, Frederick. And you, by manually pumping the ventilator.
God, he's making her watch. Did this
surgical trophies.
Oh. So is this not the same doctor from Silence of the Lambs?
It is truly amazing how many organs the body can offer up before it really begins to suffer.
It's like, Freddy, after you witness this, are you gonna stay in this your lifestyle? If you survive this, that's what I'm thinking about right now. Because Freddy is almost addicted to this like criminal underground murder, like tabloid joints that she's on. I'm like, after witnessing something like this, like, do you go find another passion or like? So apparently this is not the same doctor as Silence of the Lambs, because like they're taking all his organs away. Like, homie must be dead. Smacked him in the face and told him to wake up. That's crazy.
All right, stay awake now.
He's so calm as he's doing it. I mean, they all are.
Fluid spilling. It will compromise your immune system if you allow it.
Build my resistance.
You just can't take it all in.
Jack is a little too late for that.
Got to let go of as much of it as you can. You just gotta let go.
Something that's already under your skin.
I mean, I appreciate Jack for showing concern now, but it's like, we needed this in episode 2 or episode 3. We're in freaking episode 11. Go sit on your chair. I swear to God. Someone told me to cherish the love my cats are showing me, that they don't last forever. And I was like, damn. It wasn't raining, was it? Morpheus got a shotgun. Look at him with the coat and the hat. Will, stay in the car. Boy, stay in the car.
Gideon's gone. He's still alive.
I need medical in here now!
Put all of it in his hands. He's gonna run into Will, isn't he? Or Hannibal?
I was expecting the Chesapeake Ripper. Or are you he?
Wow, he's seen Hobbs.
I may be crazy, but you look ill.
Drive?
Who is your doctor?
Wow.
Hard time thinking. I'm losing my mind. I don't know what's real.
You're in Baltimore, Maryland, and your name is Will Graham.
No, I don't care who I am.
Oh, Will.
He's real.
He's still seeing Hobbs.
Garrett Jacob Hobbs. Who do you see?
Is he gonna lie? Of course.
I don't see anyone.
No, he's right there.
You came here alone. Do you remember coming here?
Please don't lie to me.
Garrett Jacob Hobbs is dead. You killed him. You watched him die.
What's happening to me?
Oh, God.
I want you to hand me the gun. I want you to hand me your... Well?
Jesus, what is happening? Where are your pupils, boy?
He's had a mild seizure.
That doesn't seem to bother you.
I said it was mild.
I said it was mild.
Are you the man who claimed to be the Chesapeake Ripper? Of course you're not. No, you're not, and you don't know much more about who you are beyond that. A terrible thing to have your identity taken from you.
Wow.
Well, I'm taking it back.
Alana Bloom was one of your psychiatrists, too.
What?
Yes, Dr. Bloom.
I can tell you where to find her.
You, man. You. I can tell you where to find her?
Repeat after me. My name is Will Graham. Raise both of your arms. Although you may not feel like it, I need you to smile.
That is creepy.
It wasn't a stroke. Tell me the last thing you remember. You were hallucinating. You thought he was alive. He's a delusion disguising reality.
Man.
Don't let that let you slip away.
Where are you going?
Abel Gideon is still at large. He mutilated Dr. Chilton. They found him, clinging to life. I'm worried about Alana.
Worried about Alana?
You're in no state to go anywhere but the hospital.
He did that on purpose. Leaving the gun and the keys right there, he did that on purpose. Oh, Alana. Oh yeah, it's raps. Yeah, Hannibal did that on purpose.
I don't know if I will ever be myself again. I don't know if I've got any self left over.
Who are you now?
Look at them bonding over it.
Now I'm you. We're both here looking at her. You and I are already committed. It's hard to be with another person who can't get out of your own head.
I want to get out.
But if I kill her, he would kill her. Maybe I could understand him better.
Wow. I hate this. Alana, are you strapped? Do you have a gun? Good job, Will.
They will be sewing up Dr. Chilton until the morning. That is, if he makes it through the night.
At least Will remains in one piece. White blood cell count is twice normal, and they still can't identify the source of his infection.
You know the source of his infection.
I would recommend you suspend his license to carry firearms.
You and I are just gonna have to have a difference of opinion about who Will is, Doctor.
I know who Will is. Will knows who he is.
Yes.
But our experiences shape us, Jack. How is this experience going to shape Will?
You already know that. Oh, Alana. The only person that truly cares about him was this close to being out of here. It's insane.
Will Graham is troubled.
And that troubles you? Oil is valuable. What value does Will Graham's madness have for you?
More fascinated with the madness than the man.
Are you?
Could be.
He realized early on that he saw things differently than other people.
Similarities.
In myself and Will. Madness can be a medicine for the modern world.
Interesting.
Have unfortunate side of it.
They can be a boost to our psychological immune systems to help fight the existential crisis of normal life.
God.
Will Graham does not present you with problems from normal life.
The opportunity for friendship.
He is still your patient, Hannibal.
Please.
Where Will Graham is concerned, if you feel the impulse to step forward, sometimes all we can do is watch.
And this whole idea of like the fact that Hannibal covets the rare. Yeah, that's something about Will as well. Like it's making him tick. Man, that whole moment of Will having a seizure was so heartbreaking. Like he was crying, like pleading, like, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Like Hannibal is always good at manipulating the situation to get the best result for him. Because of course he set Will up, left the gun and the keys right there on the table. Of course you know Will wasn't going to sit put. So now that he's finally gotten the meeting he wanted with the killer, now that he finally got that meeting like and said his piece, yeah, now he can use Will to take him out and watch how the cookie further crumbles. Yeah, this last 2 episodes about to be insanity. No pun intended. Man, Alana, if anything had happened to Alana, then it's like, I mean, I don't expect this show to have a happy ending, but who is gonna pull Will back from that if it wasn't Alana, or if it's not Alana? And I love the parallels between them, kind of like not knowing who they are anymore because they're losing their selves, and how he played it into his crimes by like scrambling their brains. Yeah, the whole thing with the tongue coming out the throat. Whew. Dinner time. Thank you all for watching. Let me hear your thoughts on this one for sure. I know we have a lot of thoughts. But like, let me hear them. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate you guys. Happy holidays for those who celebrate. I really thought Will Graham was going to lose it last episode, but thankfully he just had a stroke. Well, a mild one, according to our best friend of the year, Hannibal. This episode, coming into this one, I don't even know what to expect from him, what Will's faith is going to be. And of course, the heartbreaking line of like, please don't lie to me, was so vulnerable and such a heavy cry for help. And Hannibal was like, nah, it's all good. So yeah, Coming into this episode with my heart heavy, barking for Will. Let's see where this goes. We have 2 more episodes, one after this one, and I am excited to let y'all know that I am absolutely hopping on season 2 immediately. Like, I am not wasting any time, because if this season ends the way some of y'all have been hinting, I'll do myself a disservice by not hopping on season 2. So thank y'all for watching. Let's check on our homeboy Will. Are we gonna see Abigail? It's been a while. Oh, he came to see her. God, her flesh.
You look better.
Mm-hmm.
You look pretty.
Mm.
Must be all the oxygen. They say, what's wrong with you?
Not just the fever.
They won't find anything.
Oh?
They'll keep looking, keep taking tests, bad meds.
They already did, baby.
They're going to give me shock treatment. Electroconvulsive therapy is what it's called.
I'm happy though that she seems like atypical. That's not the right term or the point I'm trying to make. It's like for someone who thought she was dead based on like her mental illness and stuff, like I'm happy to see her like even be able to have a regular conversation. I mean, she's not all there. I mean, she's going through shock therapy and all that, but I'm happy to see them be able to like converse, because I didn't even know she was verbal at all. Because God, her situation is so mind-numbing. Like, she's just been living off the streets for years at this point.
Hope you have good insurance.
I do too.
You know how many times I've been told I could recover with treatment?
Damn.
Or like a horrible dream where I killed my friend.
Kind of like you, Will. Is Hannibal gonna come for her?
A black-bone bird, prized in China for its medicinal value since the 7th century. Wolfberries, ginseng, ginger, red dates, and star anise.
Sounds delicious.
Yes.
He was almost insulted. Chicken soup.
Wandering with purpose.
Oh?
Good intentions.
Suffering from delusions. And I hope yours. Nothing more isolating than mental illness.
And the people helping to isolate you. Hannibal.
Could that have all just been the fever?
Dementia can be a symptom of many things happening in your body or mind that can no longer be ignored, Will.
Shouldn't you?
Not until we know for certain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she wants to recover. She's afraid to remember what she did.
Can't say I blame her.
I'm scared for her safety with Hannibal around, because she saw him. Y'all gonna give her a blanket or something? Hello? Is this a dream? Wow, that really happened. Jesus Christ.
Hospital speculates that it was a short circuit.
No exposed wiring? There was a kid in Italy who sparked with static electricity from his pajamas set it off.
Possible that she set the fire herself. She wasn't wearing her grounding bracelet. That's the buildup of static electricity.
She did not do that.
She was facing 2 murder charges.
Sick.
There's a difference.
Here I spoke to her.
Why did you speak to her?
Because I know how she felt.
Like she tried to kill you. You're trying to be her friend. Impacts the case against her.
Well, the case against her doesn't really matter anymore, does it, Jack?
Tell him. Hannibal, man, like, god damn, like...
We could use the articles I wrote at the time of each of the murders as book chapter headings. Where you were and what you were. You all over Minnesota were disappearing.
Abigail.
What are we gonna call it?
There is already a book about serial killers called The Last Victim.
Just as well. Wasn't really my dad's last victim anyway, was I?
You were the first.
Blame him for Nick Boyle's death?
I blame Nick Boyle for Nick Boyle.
Boyle did not kill your friend.
And who did?
You know who did, Abigail.
Better question is, who killed Nick? a very specific brand of hostility.
He did kill my dad.
As far as I'm concerned, he killed Nick Boyle. He and Jack Crawford told everyone Nick was the copycat, and then someone murdered him for it. Whoever killed Nicholas Boyle killed an innocent man.
Oof. Yeah, that stung a bit. She was one of the most, man, of all the people we've covered since episode 1, all the killers and everything, she was the most innocent of them all, if that's even the right term to use. Got burnt alive. I thought that was a dream or something, because she says she has dreams. Like, agonizing way to go. That glitching movement is horrifying. Is she trying to show him something? Yep, Hannibal. I love the visuals. I love the metaphors in the...
I don't care.
Georgia Madchen didn't commit suicide,
bother.
and whatever happened to her wasn't an accident.
I'm gonna have Zeke come down here and stick a thermometer in you, and if you've got a temperature higher than 99,
She was
then
murdered, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
her DNA was all over him.
She told me there was somebody else there.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't see his face.
There was somebody else there. It was Dr. Sutcliffe. She couldn't see his face because she'd cut it in half.
For all of the help she received, she was fighting that wrong alone.
There is nothing you could do about that.
All her adult life, this woman was misunderstood.
For real.
What I can do is make sure that her death isn't misunderstood.
That's such a bar, Will. All her life, she's been misunderstood. I won't allow her death to be misunderstood. Or something like that. That was... Man, I've been watching some TV shows lately that characters die and the subsequent episodes, it just hits. Yesterday was freaking The Wire. If some of you on here also watch The Wire with me on this channel, it's like, man, it's like I was just saying how much like she had it bad. Like life gave her the worst cards possible. All the doctors that have tried to help her like never understood. Like that conversation she had with Will, that like they only see something wrong with you. They always see you as what's wrong, not that something is wrong with you. It's crazy, like the amount of people Will helps and rescue that ends up getting in the clutches of Hannibal. It's like any good Will is doing in his life and his career, Hannibal is always there to like snatch it or sabotage it. Like literally every good thing Will have done with trying to get Boyle, Abigail, like anything. Freaking last episode, the Chesapeake Ripper, like Hannibal set Will up to go shoot him. Like every single thing Will has tried to do, Hannibal has always been there.
What I can do is make sure that her death isn't misunderstood. This wasn't an accident.
You go, Will. And I think this has given Will a new kind of focus, because he seems more stable than last episode.
So what sparked the fire?
Inconclusive, but not conclusively inconclusive. Found this. Thought it might have been part of the bed or monitoring equipment.
Right. It generates static electricity.
Her hair was melted right in there, preserved like it was an amber.
Wow.
Could it have been a plastic cone?
Well, static charge from a plastic comb in a highly oxygenated environment would be a powerful accelerant.
Anything combustible in there would...
Whoever killed Sutcliffe wanted to kill him how Georgia Madchen killed her victim, but not exactly how, correct?
Okay.
Madchen carved up her victim's face. Sutcliffe was nearly decapitated at the jaw. I mean...
So she went further the second time. Serial killers often do that.
She was copied. Whoever killed Marissa Shore and Cassie Boyle wanted to copy how Garrett Jacob Hobbs killed his victims.
Hannibal. He already knows deep down.
Are you saying that Dr. Sutcliffe was killed by Garrett Jacob Hobbs's copycat?
Mm-hmm. And the only link is Hannibal.
Because he thinks she saw his face.
Nicholas Boyle is dead.
Well, then he isn't the copycat.
Talk to me.
That's right.
So you're wondering if the lines are blurring or if he's onto something?
I'm sorry, I'm just gotta pause again and just say this. It's crazy to me how multiple shows I'm watching at a time, it's just can just align. Again, for those of my folks on here that are also watching The Wire with me here on Patreon, this whole thing of a case being made and somebody from that case or some information from that case being transferred and told to the people that case is working against, while making them aware of what this team here is planning so they can prepare. So there's almost like that chess game going on. It blows my mind how the same thing is happening here. Because Will right now is putting together everything he just mentioned. The through line to all of it is Dr. Hannibal. And Will is slowly putting it together or like confirming it to himself. But now Jack Crawford is talking to Hannibal because Hannibal is their confidant. And it's like, God, exposing the whole game. Because even Hannibal talking to Will when he brought him chicken noodle soup, essentially talking about her and her recovery and her remembering or not, is almost like giving him game. And it always takes me back to episode 1 or episode 2 or 3 when Hannibal was looking for Mr. Boyle with Will, and they were driving to Boyle's workplace, and Will was asking Hannibal, "Why are you smiling?" And Hannibal, with his cheeky, devilish smile, was like, "You know, it's just fun to be in the know, see how the FBI works." It's like, it's just a game to him because, like, he's playing both sides, involved with both sides, making his move based on their information. It's kind of like you're having a basketball game and one player is in the other player's huddle, listening to the coaches breakdown and everything, game plan and everything. It's crazy to me. Like, I'm watching The Wire season 2 right now. I just finished The Wire season 2, and like that whole season was just filled with these people over here making a good case and someone on the other side getting some messages about that case and up their whole game plan. The whole season essentially, and the same thing is happening here. So I'm like, golly, like, I love this.
So you're wondering if the lines are blurring or if he's onto something?
I'm wondering all sorts of things. What's Will's relationship with Abigail Hobbs right now? He has been ever since he shot her father. I just don't know from what.
I've only ever known Will as a man striving to be his best self.
Is it really mental illness, doctor, or is it just that his mind works so differently from most people's that we don't know what else to call it? I'm Special Agent Jack Crawford with the FBI. I'd like to talk with you about a patient of yours.
Okay, Jack. That's what I'm talking about, Jack. Hey, I'm starting to like Jack again, man. Yes.
Well, I'd rather not get one if I don't have to. I'd hate to damage anyone's reputation unnecessarily. I suspect that Dr. Hannibal Lecter may be withholding pertinent information involving a murder investigation.
He hasn't confided in the FBI, and I'll tell you.
Yes, ma'am.
That can happen.
Not that I think Dr. Lecter's dangerous, I don't. I am concerned about a relationship he has with one of his patients, a man named Will Graham. So if we can't discuss Dr. Lecter, perhaps we can discuss you.
The patient who attacked me was a former patient of Dr. Lecter.
And he was referred to you by Dr. Lecter. This patient almost killed you.
He swallowed his tongue while he was attacking me.
Jesus.
It saved my life. Not bad psychology, Agent Crawford. Putting me in a position to have to defend or not to defend Dr. Lecter.
You have to admit he's had some pretty strange relationships with some of his patients.
Amen to that.
Complicated patients are conducive to complicated relationships. Hannibal refers to Will Graham more as a friend than as a patient.
How far do you think he would go to treat a friend?
Imagine he'd be loyal.
Well, I consider Will a friend, and I'd like to help him too.
Seems to me that Will Graham would do well to have more friends like
Shit. Cooked.
Will Graham theorized that the copycat killer and Garrett Jacob Hobbs are somehow connected.
I would call that less of a theory, more of a hypothesis. Theories require evidence.
Let's play Jeopardy, shall we?
I have never mentioned how much I enjoyed this two. What did you call them? Crime scene, forensic scientists or forensic men. I enjoy both of them. Funny enough, they bring some lighthearted humor to it. Is like they enjoy their job so much. I've never outwardly spoken or given them appreciation, and I just wanted to remedy that. It just hit me right now, like they've been here the whole way, you know, always in the background taking care of stuff, bouncing off our characters, our main characters. Like I f them heavy.
Beyond the application of supposition and unexplained leaps.
Yes, that's right.
I've been yearning for a return to the fundamentals of investigation. Right?
I want to track Garrett Jacob Hobbs using license plate capture from security footage. I also want to know every phone call he made and where he made them from.
Damn.
The nearest missing girl in the Minnesota Shrike case. You got it?
You go, Jack.
I finally get it. I thought there was something wrong with me. I felt good. It was so easy to lie.
Like you didn't do anything wrong.
I feel like you'd done something wrong when you killed my dad.
He felt good.
I felt terrified.
That's not what you said.
I felt powerful.
To get to end it, to stop it all. Killing my mom.
Making you what, Abigail?
Part of it. Part of any of it.
Tell him.
This wasn't supposed to be my life. It's like my dad's still out there.
In a way, he is.
You mean the copycat?
Oh, well. Will she help him, though?
Need your help.
Because she's very loyal to Hannibal. Oh, this is gonna be good.
An agent from the FBI came to see me. He asked me questions about your relationship with Will Graham.
Jack Crawford was here. He believes Abigail Hobbs was involved in her father's crimes, and he suspects Will is protecting her.
And evidently, he suspects you are protecting Will. Are you?
Are you asking as my psychiatrist?
Oh, my friend.
I'm stepping out of my role as your psychiatrist, and I'm speaking to you now as your colleague. Whatever you're doing with Will Graham, stop.
He won't.
You cannot function as an agent of friendship for a man who is disconnected from the concept.
He has flaws in his intuitive beliefs about what makes him who he is. I'm trying to help him understand.
You may not be able to.
I'm not comfortable telling Will that my very best attempts to help him may fail and that my loyalty to him and his treatment could be compromised.
Then tell him something else.
Oh?
Agent Crawford also asked me about my attack.
I want to know about that.
What did you tell him?
Half-truths.
So, for someone as calm and collected as Hannibal, I feel like some of those tiny actions or deviations in his body language is so telling. Like this whole time he was hands in pockets, suave as a motherfucker in that clean ass suit, just going back and forth talking. But the moment the attack from the patient came up, his posture changed. Now he's reaching for the chair, for the couch, touching it and whatnot. It's so subtle, but like it says so much at the same time. Because I want to know, did Hannibal put that patient up to the attack, or was he the patient that attacked her? That don't seem likely, but with this show, honestly, they throw anything but the kitchen sink at you, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Also asked me about my attack.
Look at him. He stopped pacing, started reaching for something to ground him.
A violent patient swallowed his tongue while he was attacking me. Or why, or who was responsible.
You protect your patient from Jack Crawford, but I can't protect mine.
Not anymore.
Wow.
Very best psychiatrists have an inherent limitation to their professional abilities.
When the pressures of my personal and professional relationships with Will grow too great, I assure you, I'll find a way to relieve them.
Wow. So from that, I'm guessing that Hannibal was the one who saved her from the patient, intervened, maybe the same way he intervened when Abigail stabbed that dude and he knocked out Alana. The way he essentially just told her to mind her business or shut up when he just came around and sat down in the chair ready for therapy, like, okay, now we're no more speaking as colleagues. Now we're about to start speaking as patient and psychiatrist. So much power play, man. So much.
I am finally thinking clearly about the copycat.
The murders you're attributing to the copycat have suspects whose DNA was found on the victims.
So what?
Why not kill her then and there?
Or maybe he didn't have the time. You know, she was an unreliable witness. Just that bought him time.
So you framed her for the murder?
I wasn't planning on framing her.
She just showed up.
Me.
You believe this is personal?
If it wasn't before, someone who knows the crimes and has access to the investigations.
That is almost like Will actually took back he got his swagger back. In the legendary words of Jay-Z, he definitely got his swagger back in this episode, and I like that. But then everything with Abigail kind of broke him again, and he skipped time again. But wow, let me hear your thoughts on this episode. Can't wait till the finale. And I think from now on, like, you know, this last week my schedule was packed. I recorded and posted every single day, and I think that's gonna be the norm going forward. Yeah, every day. That way we get 2 episodes in a week. Yeah, I think that works. Thank you all for watching. I will start watching The Good Place next week. Thank you all for watching. Let me hear your thoughts. I always love reading your comments. I appreciate it. It's been good.